Once upon a time, amidst the rugged terrain of ancient Judea, a traveler set out on a journey from Jerusalem to Jericho. The road, notorious for its perils, wound its way through rocky hills and treacherous bends. As the traveler made his way, his path crossed with a band of robbers who lurked in the shadows. Without warning, they pounced upon him, overpowering him with violence. They stripped him of his belongings, beat him mercilessly, and left him lying bruised and broken by the roadside. Hours passed, and the injured man lay there, his strength waning with each passing moment. Amidst his pain and despair, he prayed for someone to come to his aid. In the distance, two figures approached, a priest and a Levite, both esteemed members of the religious community. But to the traveler's dismay, they glanced at him briefly before hurrying past, unwilling to be burdened by his plight. Just when all hope seemed lost, a Samaritan, a man from a despised ethnic group, appeared on the scene. Despite the long-standing animosity between Samaritans and Jews, he was moved with compassion at the sight of the wounded traveler. Scripture 1, Luke 10:33, NIV, but a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. Without hesitation, the Samaritan knelt beside the injured man. He examined his wounds, tearing strips of cloth from his own garments to fashion makeshift bandages. Tenderly, he poured oil and wine on the man's injuries, soothing his pain with gentle hands. With great effort, the Samaritan lifted the traveler onto his own donkey, taking on the burden of his weight. He led the animal along the rocky path, careful to shield the injured man from further harm. Upon reaching a nearby inn, the Samaritan continued to care for the traveler's needs. Throughout the night, he tended to his wounds, offering comfort and solace in his time of distress. Scripture 2, Luke 10:34-35, NIV, he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. "Look after him," he said, "and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have." As dawn broke, the Samaritan prepared to depart. Turning to the innkeeper, he entrusted the injured man into his care, promising to return and cover any expenses incurred during his stay. Jesus shared this parable with his disciples, teaching them the true essence of compassion and love. He showed that true neighborliness transcends boundaries of race, religion, and social status. It's about reaching out to those in need, regardless of who they are or where they come from. Scripture 3, Luke 10:36-37, NIV, which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, "The one who had mercy on him." Jesus told him, "Go and do likewise." The story of the Good Samaritan serves as a timeless reminder of the power of kindness and the importance of extending a helping hand to those who are suffering.